Hello. So I wanted to make a really quick and short lesson just to talk about something that I think will help you a lot with reading words in English. So what we're going to talk today about is prefixes. So what does that mean? What does a prefix mean? So a prefix or prefixes is plural, is just a word that means little words or group of letters that are added to the front of a word to change its meaning. So, for example, in English, we have the word like, I like you, or this is like that. You can put something in front of it. This word right here, I guess it's like a group of letters. It's like a tiny word, but it's dis, and you put it in front of like, the word becomes dislike. Do, you put an un in front of it, undo. So a prefix is a group of words that have a meaning that we add to other words to change the meaning of that word. Why? This is confusing. It'll make more sense. So why do we learn them? The reason these are good to know is because they let you understand what a word means when you have never seen it before. So even though you've never read the word before or seen the word before, because of that little word at the beginning, that little group of letters, it tells you, okay, it is, at least I know that it is talking about this, because that little word has its own meaning, then it gets attached to another word. So the first one we're going to talk about is the word pre. Now, this isn't something that you can just say by itself. You have to put it onto another word. So the example that I'm going to show you is the word caution. You put pre in front of it, it becomes precaution. Precaution is another way to say it. So this little word in the beginning of the regular word, it means before. So the word caution means to be careful, right? But if you put a pre in front of it, a precaution, that means that you are being safe or you are thinking about something before. So you could say that wearing a mask is a precaution to help people not get sick, right? So pre means before. So when you see a word, right? So this word right here, really big word in English, right? Prerequisite. What does that mean? Prerequisite. Well, we don't know what requisite means, but at least we know that it's talking about pre. It's whatever this is, it's before. So a prerequisite, I'll just give you the definition, is something needed in advance or something you need in advance. So for example, when you become a nurse, there are prerequisites. There are certain things you need to do before. But we know that, you could see this word and just see this beginning part right here, and you could go, okay, I don't know what the rest of the word means, but I know that pre means before. So that word is talking about something about before. Now, the word post. Post is the opposite of pre, so it means after. So surgery, post-surgery, it means after or behind. So when we use post-surgery means after surgery. Now, you may be thinking, why don't you just say after? Well, because sometimes our words in English, you can't add after. For example, this word posterior, So the prefix that we used is post, right? And what is earier? Well, in English, we have words that we kind of build our words together. So not all of them, but a lot of them are made up of lots of little words that get put together to create a word or something that has meaning, right? So posterior is the back of something. So I'm sure you have heard this before. People will talk about their bottoms as their posterior, or if you get into medical medical vocabulary, medical words, they'll say, oh, it's the posterior, or uh, the they talk about muscles and bones and things like that, and they'll use the word posterior for when it's the back of something or behind. Postpone. Now, this word gets used a lot. I'm sure you guys have heard this before. So postpone, it just means after something. So you could say, can we postpone the meeting until tomorrow? Now, when you say postpone, it just means that you're saying, can we have the meeting after, can we wait to have the meeting until tomorrow? So postpone means, can we do this after something else, right? So postpone, you could use it all the time. Now, this next one we're going to talk about is tele. This is used a lot. So the example that I have is medicine. Whoop, we put that little bit in the front, tele. Now it says telemedicine. And now it's a different word. So tele means from over a distance. So just this by itself lets you know, okay, whatever we're talking about, it means that whatever the word is, it's happening over a distance, right? Means that something is far away, but you're still doing something. So, for example, the telephone, we call it, sometimes we just say phone, right? But you can call it the telephone, or it was originally called the telephone. We called it the telephone because you were talking to people. This word phone has to do with talking. Telephone means you're talking to somebody over a long distance. Telecommunication, big word, okay? But we know tele means over a long distance, and communication is like talking, it's interacting, it's reading and writing, but to other people back and forth. Telecommunication means that you're talking to people over a long distance, or you're sending letters or email. And telemedicine is when the doctors have they talk to you over the internet or through the phone. They're helping you, but you're not in their office. So that's why they call it telemedicine, because it's from over a distance. The next one we're going to talk about is un. So the word I have is finished. Now let's put the word un at the beginning, unfinished. And the word has, instead of meaning finished, meaning things are all done, right? Un means not. So just because we added these two letters, un, at the beginning of the word finished, it means not finished. So it means that you did not finish. So, but instead of saying, oh, this I did not finish, you could say, this is unfinished. I have some examples. Do, right? You can say undo. Undo, what does that mean? So undo means to make it not happen. So if somebody says, oh, can you undo, I can't think of a good example, but like people say undo the buttons, right? That's kind of confusing, like undo. Do, right, means, so if I said I do my buttons on my shirt, it means that you put them on, right? But if they say undo, or if you say undo, it means to take them out again. So there's that. Then there's friendly. You can say unfriendly, right? So when you say somebody is unfriendly, it means that they are not friendly. Or this word, unprofessional. The word professional means that you are polite, you know how to act at work, you know how to talk to people at work. But if somebody says unprofessional, it means that they aren't polite, they don't know how to talk to people at work, they don't do their job, that kind of thing. Or they do things that are, oh, you could use the word inappropriate. Words, being unprofessional is just like doing things that you should not do at work or you cannot do at work. The next one we're going to talk about is dis. So the example I'm going to show you is like. So dislike. Dis also means not. So in English, we have lots of these little words that basically mean not or no, right? So when you say that you like someone, it means that you think that they're nice, you like to be around them, you like them. But if you say that you dislike somebody, it means that you do not like them. It means that you do not like to be around them. You do not want to see them, that kind of thing. So dis also means not. But you can use it for things like the word appear, right? Appear means to show up. It means to like, ta-da, here it is. If you say disappear, it means like something went missing. Like if you say, oh, my phone disappeared, then you would say, that means that the phone is not, you can't see it anywhere. You do not see it anywhere. So instead of saying, oh, my phone appeared, if you say my phone disappeared, it means that it's gone and you don't know what happened. And then the word dislike. So the other one that we could talk about is non. So the two words I have is essential, right? That means like necessary. It means that it's needed really bad. Non-essential is not or without. So when you say essential, it means, right? So when the pandemic happened, all of you were considered essential workers. You're people that if you don't come to work, nothing gets done, that type of thing. So you're essential, you're important. But if somebody is non-essential, it means that they do not need to be there, right? Or if a thing is like an object, like some people would say that phones are non-essential. They would say, oh, you do not need them. But instead of having to say all of those words, oh, you do not need this, you could say a phone is non-essential. So it just helps you. So non means not or without, like non-aggressive. It means the opposite of aggressive. So it means that that person is not aggressive. Non-dairy. So this one you see a lot at restaurants or on food packages at the store. Non-dairy means no dairy. That's all it means. It means that the food does not have milk in it or cream or anything that any kind of, cow product, milk. That's why we call it dairy. So non-dairy means that there's no dairy. Now this other word, hyper. You hear this one a lot now, I think, because people use it a lot to describe things that are more or very of something. So the word that I wanted to show you is active, right? So active means like you move around a lot. Hyperactive is you move around a lot. So it means that hyperactive is just like the person is moving all the time, almost like they move too much. So this word hyper, when you put it in front of a word, it means whatever that word is, it means that it's more or very of it. So if you have the word critical, this word right here, critical, it means that you look at things, if somebody is critical, it means that they look at things or people and they, tell them to do things, or they always are saying what the best thing to do is, or they think about problems all the time and how to solve them. So if somebody's hyper critical, it means that they do it all of the time. It means that they're doing it almost too much. So hyper just means a lot, a lot, a lot. So like hyperactive. Hyperactive is they just move around a lot. Now the next one we're going to talk about is mono. So this one is kind of complicated. I don't know of words that are used a lot that this would be super helpful, but I think when you read a lot, you come across this more. So culture, right? Culture means, you know what culture means. It's how you live, how the people around you live, whether it's a religion or if it's, how you think about things. But you can change this word culture into monoculture. Mono, so this word right here has its own meaning, right? So mono means one or single. So when we use this word, whatever it comes before, we know that whatever the word means, if we don't know it, we know at least that it's talking about something that's one or that's single. So the word monogamy, if you didn't know what that means, you could guess, you'd be like, it's one of something, right? Monogamy means that people use it when they talk about couples, like dating or marriage, that kind of thing. Monogamy is when you only date one person. You don't date other people while you're dating that person or while you're living with or having a relationship with. Another word that you could see this is another complicated one. This word is monotheistic. What is that? So if you didn't know this word and you saw this at the beginning, mono, we know that, I don't know what this word is, but I know it's talking about one. Monotheistic is this word theistic is like a fancy way of saying like what you believe in, like a religion. So monotheistic means that you believe in like one God or like one higher power type of thing. So Christians are monotheistic, right? Or if you're Catholic, you're monotheistic. I'm trying to think of I think if you're Muslim, it's monotheistic as well. So the next one is micro. So micro, it just means very, very small. So if you see a word that has the word micro in it, whatever it is, at least you know it's talking about something that's very small, because this word micro means small. So the word microscope means, because of this part, but also just because of what the thing is, microscope means to be able to see things that are very, very small. And microchip is something in computers that's very, very small. So I put pictures in case you didn't know what these were, but this is a microscope. And all these little these little bits on here are microchips. So they're tiny, tiny, tiny little pieces that go into a computer. So they're very small, so they use the name micro in them. Now the next one is macro, and it's the opposite of micro. So instead of really small, it's really, really big. This one, this word, you won't see a lot unless you read a lot of things in English, like the newspaper or lots of books that talk about science things. Macro means big. So macro means large or prominent. This word prominent means that it's the main focus. So, for example, if you use the word macroscopic instead of microscope or microscopic, meaning like you can't see it because it's so small, microscopic means it's big enough to see with your own eyes. You don't need anything to help you. Or you could use the word macroeconomics. So economics is the study of money, right? The study of resources. Macro, you put it in front, it means instead of focusing on the little stuff, macroeconomics focuses on all of the big stuff. But if you hadn't seen these words before, you could say, I don't know what it means, but at least I know it's talking about something that's really large or something that's very big. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching the lesson, and I will see you next time.